Welcome back to the number one day trading channel. So basically, the more I claim that I'm the number one day trading channel, the more it's going to get ingrained into your guys' brains. The more people watch these videos, the more they see me talking about being number one, the better chance of me actually claiming the title of number one day trading YouTube channel. So today, I'm talking about one stock making what I made $330 this morning. I'll show you guys that trade here in a second, but really just kind of a weird trade or a weird stock. Didn't have a lot of volume first in the morning. We had some opportunity later, and you'll kind of see kind of how I had to battle, the rules. I was looking for volume. I needed volume. Volume is so important, and it's hard. A lot of times it's hard because people are so quick to jump in, and I talk about that in this video, kind of, the emotion of jumping in sometimes, getting squeezed out, and then ended up seeing the stock going exactly like you wanted it to do, doing exactly what you wanted to do, but doing it later on after you already got out of the trade. And I'm going to talk about that here in this video. I'm going to show you guys my entries, my exits, making profit this morning, and kind of just the overall game plan, how I'm doing it, what's going on, and all that fun stuff right here on the number one day trading channel here on YouTube. So let's go. All right, so this morning I'm looking here at AMAG, and I'm looking basically at this 865 area. This morning, gapping down. They had a bad ER. Got news coming out this morning, and you can see the big gap down there from $9.80 down there to $8.10. So this morning, it's there at the 846 area right now. The problem is we got a bit of a spread here. We got about a 15-cent spread, and I don't really want to jump in, with that type of spread. Obviously, the volume's just not really high right now, so I'm basically just kind of sitting back here and waiting and watching to see if we get the opportunity to get short here. If we don't get the opportunity, we won't get the opportunity, but the last thing I want to do is go and jump into it and already be, down $150 on 1,000 shares. So I'm basically just kind of sitting back here waiting, looking pretty slow again this morning. This is the Trade Ideas Gapper list. Got AMAG, a couple other stocks moving around, but not a lot of volume. Seems to be kind of a pattern right now. It's Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It has been pretty similar this week. So I'm just going to kind of sit here and kind of see what happens with AMAG. See if this spread tightens up some, and then I'm kind of watching this 810 area, thinking that this thing, if we can't hold the 810 area, it should probably break down there below $8 pretty quickly. So that's kind of what I'm watching and waiting to see what happens here. Just kind of letting the action come to me this morning. So it's one of those things where maybe I can load up right here. Maybe I get short 830, at the 830 area here. But I don't really want to short just right into that big buyer right there at 830. So we'll see if he starts to get sold into and really, start to get more and more selling pressure here. Kind of keep an eye on that selling pressure and just kind of watching to see what happens with that buyer there at $8.30, if that's going to hold there, if that's going to get, pummeled, or what's going to happen. So just kind of sitting back here waiting, having some patience, and just kind of seeing what unfolds here. It's really what we're kind of doing. All right, so right now AMAG is just kind of like, it's just going lower and really not giving me like the opportunity to get short here. And you can see now it's down there to $8. But look at the volume on these candles. I mean, this candle wasn't terrible, but it's 5,000 shares right there. 1,000 shares, 4,000 shares. But it's just, I'm looking for that pop. Maybe this was one of those trades where I just got to jump in. I got to jump in and grab it. Because, I've been sitting here now since basically $8.50, and it's now down there to $8. So, it's one of those things. Is it a missed opportunity? Is it me playing it safe? Is it me not kind of shorting, as we're underneath the EMAs here? Look, overall, this trend right now is just kind of, just nicely just kind of trending lower here. It's one of those things, this has happened to me so many times where I find a stock, I find a setup like this, AMAG, I see what's going on, and I end up jumping in because it's like, oh, it's going lower, it's going lower. Then all of a sudden, as soon as I jump in, it ends up spiking up back up to that resistance area, and I end up getting out for a loss because I end up covering up here at $8.65. And then it's one of those things, you know, where it's always in hindsight. You know, in hindsight, it's like, oh, why did I do this? Why did I do that? But the thing for me is I really just got to focus on, you know, being strict with my rules and kind of understanding that, you know, there's going to be days, there's going to be opportunities where a stock basically does exactly what AMAG is doing, but it's not really giving me an entry, you know. It's one of those things. It really just comes down to a volume thing. I mean, the volume just isn't there for me this morning. Really, across the board right now, I'm just not really seeing anything with volume. And without the volume, it's dangerous because if there's no volume, let's say like this stock right here, there's no volume, there's no selling pressure. If one buyer steps in here, you know, one person starts buying, it's like, bam, we get back up there to $8.65. So then I go from, you know, being in the greens to now being down, and it becomes an emotional roller coaster. And that's really, I don't know, it's just not really what I'm looking to do. I'm not looking to ride the wave. I'm not really looking to ride the emotional roller coaster. I'm looking more so just to ride the profit train. And today is a good example of how volume, you know, it can be tricky sometimes because, like I said earlier, this was like, you know, if this gets below 8.30, we're probably going to get down there at $8 pretty quickly. If we, you know, bam, 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 you know, it's doing exactly what we basically thought it would do. You know, we thought it would go lower here, but the volume just is not really giving us the opportunity to get short. And it's just kind of how it goes sometimes. I think a lot of times people will be like, why don't you just short? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? But there's a lot of factors, a lot of, you know, outside factors. But there's a lot of factors beyond just, you know, buying or selling. You know, I'm looking at volume, I'm looking at the overall price action. I'm trying to figure out, you know, what's really going on other than me just jumping in and getting short, or me just jumping in and doing something because it's like, oh, it's moving. You know, I want to see volume, I want to see action, and I want to see a safety net. Because really for me, like I said, if I'm shorting there at $8.30, I don't want to just jump in right there and get short, because all of a sudden it's like, bam, this thing spikes back up on me, and then I end up getting out for a loss, and then later on the stock goes down again. So really what I'm looking for here is just like a little bit of a spike, and then kind of see those sellers step in there. I want to see that resistance kind of kick it down, hold it down, and then get short into that. And this morning we just really did not get that opportunity. You know, really just no real good opportunity to get short here on AMAG right now. So kind of what's going on. All right, so we're getting some selling pressure here at the $8 area, kind of dropping through there. Looking to see if I can get some shares short here at $8. Put some orders out there. Let's see. All right, so getting some shares short there at 8. Looking for this to just kind of drop on through that $8 area here. Look to add some more if we do get a little bit of a pop off that $8 support there. But starting to get some volume here, so that's good. We want to see that volume coming through there and get that action. And see if we can't get this to kind of just drop right through $8 pretty quickly and just kind of continue this selling pressure. You can see that volume coming through here. Finally getting some volume, and that's what we needed to happen. But I can still add some more, so I'm kind of just sizing in here slowly, looking for this to kind of drop. Look at the spread right now from $8 down there to $7.70. So got a nice little spread here, looking good overall. You know, we want to obviously look for that opportunity here, and already kind of gapping from $8 down there to $7.80. So that's pretty nice. Obviously, you know, we got to see if we can get covered here or not. I like to try to cover some down there at the 780 area. See if we can get some sellers to step in there at the 780. So getting a little tricky here. Looking to see if we can get down there below that 790. Really haven't had a nice drop here just yet. Seeing if we can get down there to the 780s. We had a little bit of a kind of drop there, but kind of getting a little choppy right here. We'll see if we can kind of finally get trending again and kind of get back below 790 here. Not a very pretty chart when you look at this right here. Just kind of, I don't even know, it's like gapping, these little gaps in the chart here. Kind of just jumping around. That's because you know, bit of a spread. That spread is killer right now. And you can see we got selling pressure stacking up there, 790, big seller stepping up there. So looking to see if we can get down there below, in the low 780s. Low 780s is what I'm kind of looking for here. 785, 780 there on the bid right now. Can we lose that and drop below 780 right here? Let's see. Looking like we might lose 780. All right, so we're losing 780. Oh, nice. Look at this. Now we're really getting it. So I'm going to lock in some right there at 778. That's kind of like I was planning on. Not going to get greedy. And let's see if we can get down there to the low 770s now. And lock in another bit here. I'm going to do... oh, look at that. Massive seller stacking up there. 770 right now. Look at that. Oh, my gosh. This thing's going. Beautiful. Wow. That's nice. So I covered another 250 shares there. Really just getting this drop here. This is playing out perfectly. Let's see what happens to the 770 area. 755 again. So I'm going to lock it right there. I'm going to lock it down right there. 755. You can see now it's just really getting crushed here. So basically doing exactly what we thought it would do. You know, I talked about this live earlier. Where was it? About 8 o'clock this morning. We talked about how, you know, below $8, I really thought this thing was just going to get murdered. And, well, it got murdered. Look at the 5-minute chart here. Below $8, bam, down there to $7.40. So doing exactly what we wanted to do. We were just a little hesitant on, you know, jumping in too soon. Obviously, you know, that would have been a beautiful entry there at the 850, 865 area. But like I said earlier, the volume just really wasn't there. But you can see now the volume starting to come in, starting to get a little bit of action, starting to get the price action that we were looking for in terms of, you know, actually getting movement. But, you know, really just kind of a choppy one overall. Still just choppy, but kind of like a weird bear flag thing right there at the 790 area. So I'm excited. I don't say I'm excited. I'm happy. I'm happy that we kind of locked that down and locking down some profit as we went. And not bad. $330 this morning. You can see there, $330. Locking that down here on AMAG. And look at that. Now I'm done. You know, nice and easy. Nice and easy, just like we talked about earlier. So there it is. I'm out of here. Let's do it. I'm out. I'm going. If you guys haven't already, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I will talk to you guys later on.